Good afternoon, One Nation Tribal Alliance. My name is Greg, Tribal Administrator for Tribal Alliance. I am here to share some more, knowledge on what I have been taught in the past and how it is affecting us nowadays. And today, I would really want to talk about as a young kid when I was growing up. And I hope I don't step on anybody's toes or hurt anybody's feelings, but these are just some of the things that I was taught because I saw it in my generation. Back when I was a kid from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, now in 2020. I, that's been a while back, and a lot has changed since I was a kid. But first of all, what I was taught basically as a kid, back in the day when I was first being taught modalities of how to be a medicine man, I guess. I was taught for a while, then they give me a break, and they would kind of give me I guess, a futuristic view of what's to happen in the future. And I would listen to them, and I would really, adhere to what they had to say. I mean, these people were elderly people, probably in their 80s and 90s, back in the day, because, we all lived longer back. The elderlies lived long back then because we have a lot of people that says, "Oh, my grandma lived to be over 100." I'm sure they did because they worked hard and they were healthier. But in all things, I just want to talk to you about, you know, the future as what I was told. And as a kid, they always tell me, look, I want you to understand what we are teaching you and telling you because right now, as a child, you are listening to us. You are taking in what was passed down to us from our grandparents, from our fathers, And I said, okay. And I just posted a post on uh, genealogy thing on Tribal Alliance page, and I want y'all to take a look at that. Take a look at that because it really does mean a lot. And so that really what prompted me to come up with this video. And the first part of this video, I want to talk about changes in life. Um, Changes in life. I remember on my personal perspective, I went from when I was a kid, I remember getting my first AM transistor radio, that little bitty box radio, and that was a good weather forecaster because when you turn on the AM radio, we had two, three radio stations, um, two during the nighttime and one during the day. At nighttime, we used to catch KFI from New Mexico in Zuni. We catch KFI that came out of Los Angeles, California. And we used to get KOMA, which is in Oklahoma City. But during the bad storm, like I said, it was a good weather radio because when a lightning would hit somewhere, you could hear static electricity, and sometimes it just ruin the whole song. You're trying to sing along with the song. You know, there it goes. There goes your radio song. But anyway, we went from AM radio to FM radio, and then we went to 8 track. Man, I remember when 8 track. Boy, you had to. I mean, when that 8 track messed up, boy, you had to be a genius to fix that 8 track. Pulling it, sucking it, and pull it. You learn how to be an 8 track repair person. And from 8 track, we went to cassettes. From cassettes, we went to those little MP3s. From MP3, we went to disc. From disc, we went to now just basically download music where you had to pay for it. And now you don't even have to pay for downloading music. I mean, music is everywhere. I mean, on your cell phone, on your television, anywhere. You can watch video music nowadays. But to go from all that in technology, it has come a long way. And now it's even going further. It's even going further. So, technology has changed quite a bit. And that's what the elders used to warn us about technology. One day, these robots that you see on television are going to control your life. They used to tell us that. And you think about it, they are. They are starting to control us through AI. Um, you know, if you haven't heard of Chat GPT, that's something you need to look into. I mean, just look into it. Don't get hooked onto it, but just look into it because that is more advanced than Siri's, I believe. Because Siri's sometimes you ask a question, it won't have an answer for you. But that Chat GPT, you can ask it to write you an essay. They'll write you an essay in 2 or 3 minutes, and it's also giving you knowledge, but also when you start asking questions of it, it's taking in your personal information from you by your voice recognition. People don't realize that, but I mean, AI has come a long way too. Back in you know Star Trek days. Remember that little eyeball that used to go around watching them and everything? Well, you never know. Those eyeballs are around. They got AI dogs in Japan that, when COVID hit, those dogs were out monitoring people. If they don't keep a 6 foot, you know, social distancing, they got reported. I mean, come on now. A dog reported you to the police because you don't keep the 6 feet social distancing. It's happening. Nowadays, they don't even have to pull you over for a traffic ticket. You go to a speed zone, and if you break a violation, it's just going to take a picture of your license plate and of who's driving, and then you get your ticket in the mail, and you can refute it or you can pay it. But if you refute it, it's going to cost you more. So the best thing to do is just pay it and go on. That's AI, but AI has gone so much further. I don't want to get into it because it's so complicated and hard. And we see a lot of AI stuff. We hear a lot about artificial intelligence, how there are inserting chips on some of these businesses that are big enough to where you get a chip inserted in you. You don't have to have a key or a password or anything to go into the building. All you got to do is wherever they put your chip in, just go up to the scanner and point at it, bam, you're in. So people are actually allowing chips put in their body, and so artificial intelligence has come a long way. And that's what our forefathers or grandparents were warning us about. And so when I say when I was being taught about I was always warned, you know, don't try to keep up with it. I mean, from back in the 80s, the computer. I remember having to download a computer, you had to put in your password there. I mean, all this. Nowadays, you don't even have to, you know, you don't have to put everything in there. To turn on my computer, I turn it on. I got a little 4-digit security code that I just got to put in. So bam, 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 boom, I'm in. I don't have to, excuse me, put in a security code for my programs or anything like Word that I'm using. I don't have to put in no security code to get in there. Everything's just right there. I just move my mouse, click on it, boom, it's right there. But the reason why I'm warning you about, this AI stuff and not to keep up with it is because it's going so fast that I don't think anybody will keep up with it. unless you spend 24/7 on that AI stuff, and look at our kids nowadays. You know, they don't even look up. They're always constantly on their little phone or on their tablet or on their computer. If not playing games, they're chatting with somebody or they're looking up some stuff on the computer constantly, constantly. And you know what the saddest part about that is, it's not that they're gaining knowledge. If they keep up with the AI, what's going on with their traditional teachings or their spiritual life? Do they have time for that? No. Because I can guarantee you, if they go to a spiritual meeting or a church or whatever, if a preacher says something, I can guarantee you they're going to look it up and see if the preacher's right or wrong. See if they're doing the right thing or not. Then, you know, then if they whatever they read, you know, if it's correct, they follow it. If it's not correct, they're going to question the preacher. You know, so learning about forgetting about your spirituality over AI is very easy. Again, look at our kids nowadays. They're so glued because we got them on laptop, we got them on iPad, we got them on phone that has all that informational knowledge in there. And we let that informational technology babysit our kids when we don't have time for our kids because as long as they're busy with that thing, they're not bothering you. You can do whatever you want, which is not right. You need to be teaching. I was always taught when I was growing up, you need to learn what we are teaching you because one day you're going to be an elder and you're going to be teaching this to the kids. Well, if I go back home and try to teach this to the kids, you think they're going to listen to me? No, they're going to worry about their computer. Is it charged up enough? What am I missing out? They're going to want to do. I mean, one of the fast things that I tell people do when you fast is put your phone down for 4 days. Tell everybody you're going to be doing some spiritual journey. You don't have to tell them you're fasting. Just tell them you're going to be on a spiritual journey and no call is too important. Just tell them that, text me and I will look at it once a day and make that a commitment. Put your phone down. You can turn it off so that it don't distract you. But go on your spiritual journey for 4 days without a phone. And then tell yourself, okay, at 9 p.m. every night, I'm gonna check my email. I'm gonna check my messages. Check to see what kind of phone calls I miss. If it's important, leave me a message. Because that phone is everything. It's your message taker, it's your answer machine, and it's your email for your computer. So you're not missing out on anything. Just tell yourself at 9 o'clock, I'm gonna look at everything. And do not respond unless it is very urgent. Do that for 4 days. Do that for 4 days and see what you miss out. You won't miss out on anything. You will gain spiritually because you will meditate more. I know the first day is going like fasting. The first day is going to be rough because you want to find out who's calling you, who's doing it, you want to grab that phone and do it. It's just like when you fast and you don't eat for the first 4 hours, your stomach is going to be growling. You're hungry. You want to give up and all this, but your spirit is saying, "Come on, we can do it. We can do it." But after that first day, your fasting your stomach start to ease up and accepting it and allow your spirit to control your body. Same thing. When you put that phone down for 4 days, allow your spirit to detach from the technology because, you know, in the future, what would happen? Remember, we are losing our tradition and our spiritual ways because of technology. And I think that's what they are trying to do, teach us how to do it because they want us to be dependent, not independent, but dependent. You know, how many of you all can actually say you can grow enough garden to survive every year on a yearly basis? You know, because yeah, Kenya, you know, it's difficult, it's hard work, but you gotta look at it. It would take one wipeout to shut the United States down, and that is the grid. That grid goes down. How many of y'all gonna suffer? I mean, survive. Everybody's gonna go chaos, and everybody's not gonna be know how to survive. Survival is going to be the main game, you know. So we need to go back and start teaching our traditional ways to the kids, our spiritual ways, because I was given an example. And that example is that, you know, on a cornfield, which cornfield do you think is going to be better, grown naturally? No, that naturally meaning no artificial, you know, fertilization, no artificial this, no artificial that, all natural. Which one you, uh, cornfield that's planted by a tractor or a cornfield that's been planted with a digging stick? Yeah, a tractor's gonna go boom, 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 boom. Be done in what, 2 hours? Planting about 10 acres of land, about 2 hours. They can plant about what, 10, 12 rows at a time in one swipe. So 10 acres is nothing. But a digging stick is going to take about 2 or 3 days. Plant 10 acres. But what's the difference? That tractor is not going to talk to the seeds, not going to talk to Mother Earth, not going to ask the Creator, Father above, to, help it grow. That tractor is not going to connect with Mother Earth to ask it those plants to grow. But the digging stick will, as you're out there digging those holes, and a tractor just plows it and throws it in and goes. For a digging stick, you take your time, you put your energy into it, you talk to it as you go along. Yeah, it takes time, but once you get the rhythm, you start talking to your plants and keep on going. You're gonna finish planting before long. And I guarantee you, your plants will be more happier, more productive than anything else because you are connected. Whereas tractor don't connect with Mother Earth or the Father Creator above. There's no spirit into that planting with a tractor. Planting with a digging stick. What do you think in the Hopi prophecy? They said, I give you a digging stick and some corn seeds to survive on. You know, nobody, I don't think anybody nowadays use a digging stick to plant corn, watermelon, or whatever. They always have to have a tractor, whatever. Again, when you start planting traditionally, you connect with Father above, Mother below. As above, so below. You're the connection. So when you start planting those plants, talk to the seeds. Thank you for coming into my life. Thank you for growing in my land. Thank you. I will take care of you the best I can. Because not only once that corn starts growing, you got to hold the field. Get rid of all them unwanted plants around it so it doesn't choke your corn. You got to go out there. You got to water it. You got to take care of it until it takes care of itself. It's like a baby. You take care of it until it can take care of itself. So traditional practices is very important. Losing that, man. I remember when I was growing up, you look north side of my mama's house, there was fields and fields of corn and you name it, watermelon, squash, everything was planted out there. Now, I don't even want to talk about it. I do not even want to talk about it. It's sad, very sad. Political people are saying, oh, we don't have water to water those fields. Where's your faith? Where is your faith to ask for water? Seek and you shall find. The Bible says, seek and you shall find. Seek the water from the Father, and you'll find it because he'll bring it down. You know, ask and you will receive. It's in the Bible. Ask for it, you will receive it. See, all these things. Where's spirit? Where's your spiritual life in all this? AI is taking over. You know, yeah, we can say, oh, I let my kids be on the computer for an hour. But then again, after that hour is over with, what do they do? Turn around, watch TV. No, we don't ask them to clean your room. Is your room clean? Cook supper, wash dishes. Yeah, we don't ask them to wash dishes. It's like dragging them across the field. They'll be fighting and dragging and pulling and tugging until you bribe them. All right, I'll give you $10 if you wash dishes. And they'll jump up and do it. Is that proper teaching? No. Even as we go, we talk about how AI is coming to our life and how things change. I also want to talk about how we present ourselves as a traditional person, as a spiritual person. You know, as a spiritual person, we have to understand who we are. We have to learn to understand, you know, who the people are that you encounter with. If you're going to be a leader, you know, be like Horus. Horus was Osiris and Isis' son in Egyptian mythology. Reason why I say Horus is bring out Horus is because Horus, his avatar was a falcon. And a falcon can soar way above in the sky and has such good vision. He will look down and see what's going on. Look down and see clearly what's going on. And, to see what's going on, you make better judgment. You help your people better. You help yourself better. Because, you know, keeping up with what we do in our lives is real hard because we can do 100 things positive, but we do one thing negative. People remember the negative. I mean, we all make our mistakes in life. But with the mistake that you make in life, be honest with it. Be honest to yourself about it. Be honest to the people that you come across about it. You know, and you know, always when you make a mistake, pay attention. Pay attention because you know when we let me see. Okay, I'm just reading my notes. We got to pay attention to what we don't understand, and by paying attention to what we don't understand, will give us a better perspective of judging what we are trying to put across. You know, in the Zuni Constitution, it says when you talk to the leaders, the council, the governor, you try to present something. And if they're not listening, and you try to bring it across 3 times, and they're not listening, you can rear back with the back of your hand and slap them. Yep, that's what it says in our Constitution. They don't want to listen to you, and you try to bring it across 3 times. You know, I'm not saying go over there and slap the car out of them. Say 1, 2, 3, and boom. No, you gotta do it diplomatically. You know, because that's just I guess traditional way in Zuni, but it's written in the Constitution like that. And so when we pay attention to what we don't understand, we will make sure we learn about it before we make judgment or make a decision or make a call for it. And this is part of raising up tradition. You know, we come across a lot of different challenges. One of the biggest challenges that I come across is understanding. Understanding what you're trying to bring across. And what do I mean by understanding what we're trying to bring across? Make sure what you're trying to present, you know the truth behind it. How do you know the truth is the truth? And the answer that they used to give me, because I always ask them, how do you know what your truth is always the truth? And I remember this elderly man, he looked at me square in the eye and says, you ask him why 3 times. And when you get your answers, why answer 3 times? It's just like, I'm going to give you an example. Why do I need to put on my glasses right now when I didn't before? I'm going to say, well, I need to put my glasses on so I can see better. Why do you need to see better? So I can better understand what I'm seeing, so I can work on what I am listening to. Also, why does your glasses have to make you see and listen to understand what you're talking about? Because I want to be able to feel the energy behind my truth. Why do you want to put your energy behind your truth? Because I firmly believe in it, what I am presenting. And it's not, as I say, life's like a baseball game. 3 strikes, all it takes. So that's what I mean. I put my glasses on. Why? So I can see better. Why do you need to see better? So I can see and hear better. Because understand, when you see a person talking to you, and if they're convinced of what they are presenting, you can see the body language behind it. Well, why do you need to hear what they're saying? What does that got to do with seeing and looking at the body language? Well, hearing, make sure the presenter is not just presenting in a monotone voice to where I hope you all understand what I'm talking about because I will share it to you. No, I want you to know that what I'm talking to you about is the truth. And I want you to know that what I see in your body language is going the same way as what I'm listening to, as to where it is got energy and power behind it. And it goes back to the energy. Why do you need to have energy behind what you're seeing, hearing, and well, because I want to be able to feel what you're presenting to me. You know, let me feel what you're presenting to me so I can take it to the heart, knowing that what you're presenting is the truth. Now, when you teach the same way in traditional ways. You know, I'm gonna hate to say this, but a lot of our leaders with a capital L, and I point out to whomever, are not leading properly. In Zuni, our leaders are supposed to go out every morning, meet the sunrise, welcome, welcome the sun's energy, giving Mother Earth the cornmeal, receiving blessings for the people. So when you meet the people and greet them, you give them the breath of life. Every day throughout your day, every day throughout your term of being a leader. Do I see that happening? No, no. And I hope they hear me and understand me rather than saying, criticizing, saying that. Why is he saying that? Don't worry about the why. Understand it is your responsibility. When they start being argumentative about what their responsibilities are, I hate to say this, you're not a good leader. You know, not everybody's perfect, but people are forgiving. You know, so you know, not to advertise for my class, but in my class, when I teach about certain things, how to raise your energy, how to feel the vibration, how to, you know your energy. I mean, to raise your energy, feeling the vibration, and learning how to fast, to ground, and all that. I give them exercises, and when you start doing exercises, your gifts will enhance. Is what I teach. I'm not saying this to advertise my class. I'm just saying this because this is the traditional way of teaching. Because I like to be a person to teach by example, not just talk. Not as the military say, do as I say, not as I do. I'm not that type of person. I'm gonna ask you to dig a hole, and I'm gonna be right down there with you digging that hole. You know, if I ask you to do 50 push-ups, by golly, I'm gonna get down there and do 50 push-ups too. But don't worry, I'm not gonna ask you that because right now at my age, I can't even do 10. But in all else, in all honesty, in all happiness, I love you all. And again, I'm sorry if I stepped on your toes, and I hope you got something out of this little brief, quick class because I'm gonna start posting stuff like this every day, no, or every other day, or every third day, whatever. I don't know. Just whenever they come to me and say, need to get this out, I will do it. Thank you for your time. I love y'all. And y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. I love you.